Hey, it's Michael Dell, and I'm really excited to share this with you today. This is the self-publishing webinar. We're going to cover all the questions that you had from the survey results. We're going to do a deep dive, and we're going to learn a lot about marketing, self-publishing, and all the questions that you guys had from the survey. So I was just really, thankful that all of you sent in your survey responses so that we could make this for everyone to see. Now, the only people I want to see this actually are the people who are invited and on the list. So please don't share this video with other people. I just want to keep this between us. Why are we self-publishers? What makes us so different and weird from other people? Why self-publish? The reason we self-publish is because we have a message to share. And we want to get our message out to the audience, right? So who's the audience? The audience is the people who are in the most pain and will get the most relief from getting your message. That's your target audience. Those are the people whose lives will be transformed by your book. Okay, so that's the beginning of the answer to our first question about marketing strategy, right? We looked at the first question in the survey is, what are you struggling with now as a self-publisher? Marketing strategy, we saw, was the number one thing. So the first thing we need to know about marketing strategy is what I just said, that you need to find out, who you're trying to reach, who's your target audience. So let's just look at that question a little more closely. The more specific, the better. Now, if you tell me your target audience is everyone, that is a rookie mistake. You don't want your target audience to start out with everyone, because how do you market to everyone, right? What you got to do is chunk it down. You got to break it up into a niche. So by creating a niche audience in the beginning, then you can expand later. And this is a technique that people from rock stars and actors and movie stars use, and this is what self-publishers use, right? So this is a classic marketing technique. Now, if you have even somebody super famous like Madonna, right? Everybody knows who Madonna is. She's a singer. She became an actress later, and then later she wrote a series of children's books. So even Madonna is an aspiring self-publisher, just like you and me. So this is a great place to be if all these other rich and famous people want to be here with us. Obviously, there's something exciting about self-publishing if people want to do it. Now, also, we have really big self-publishing success stories like Jack Canfield, who started out writing a little self-help book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. Now, this book did not go over well at the beginning, but it later turned into a huge, phenomenal success, and he moved into different markets. But he started out with a very niche target market, and that's where we want to start. Okay, so you start with a narrow niche audience. Later on, you can add, from your self-help book, you can add the cookbooks and the videos and the movies, all those other things. You can go wide after you get traction, after you get success. Okay, so once you learn this skill, this is a beautiful thing. Once you learn this skill of identifying your target audience, going very narrow, it's called a 1-inch punch, right? You take 1 inch of space and you punch it as hard as you can, and you go as deep as you can within that very narrow focus, right, with your target audience. Once you get that target audience hooked, then you can go wider. And this is a skill that you can use to market anything. And this is actually what we have to do as self-publishers. We have to market our books, and that's just a fact of life. So marketing strategy is one thing that over 60% of people were concerned about. So that is the way to start with your marketing strategy. Identify your target audience, get them into a niche, as tight a niche as you can, and then focus on that niche. I'll talk more about marketing strategy and everything else. So let's move on. The next step that we talked about, the next problem that people had, was getting your books into the hands of your target audience, your customers. So, right, we identify the target audience. Those are your customers. So how do you get the books into the hands of your customers, right? Well, that's the next step of your marketing strategy as well, right? So what you have to do is, you've found who your customers are. Now you find out where they are. First, you found out who they are. That's your target audience. Now you find out where they are. Are they online? Are they on a certain website? Are they on Facebook? Where are they? Are they at a certain convention? And you have to go there. You have to go where your audience is, and specifically, not just go there and be on the same level as them. You want to get in front of those people as an expert. Okay, now there are many ways to do that. I'm going to talk about that more later. But again, email is a great way to do it. Webinars, live events, social media, any way that you're able to add value to your target audience and help them alleviate pain, then you're going to show yourself to be an expert. And that's what's going to move you forward in taking things to the next level. Okay, so let's move on to the next struggle that people are facing: social media, Facebook and Twitter. As mentioned, you can reach out to your target audience through social media like Facebook and Twitter. And when you post on social media, you are engaging your audience. This allows your audience to build. This builds your credibility as an expert. Okay. The only thing you don't want to do, the criminal thing here, is to bore your audience. Do not go to the jail for boring people, right? You don't want to bore your audience. You want to be exciting. You want to be helpful. And you want to be consistent. And those are the things that are going to attract an audience to you. You can do trial and error to see what works here. You can be a Q&A person. If you see somebody asking a question in a forum or on Facebook, you can be the one that answers it, and they say thank you, and then you get recognized as an expert. Okay, I'm just going very broad here, so we're going to move forward. The press and media kit. Okay, press and media kit is extremely important. We had like 25% people struggling with that. This might be the most important tool in your toolkit as a self-publisher. So having a compelling and dangerously exciting press and media kit is how you'll get past the media gatekeepers. Who are those people? Who are the media gatekeepers? These are the men and women who stand between you and media outlets. So it could be a blog that's widely regarded by your audience. It could be a magazine that your audience reads. Who's engaging our audience, right? Those are our connectors. We want to work with our connectors and develop relationships with them so that we can, move forward to market your book. Getting past the gatekeepers puts you in front of the audience in an authority position. The audience knows you've got past the gatekeepers. That makes you an authority. It allows you to grow and build your brand, build authority, and eventually this will help you to get distribution, which moves us to the next thing. Getting a distributor. We had almost 40% of people were struggling with this. So it's one of the most important topics we can go over. A distributor is basically a superstar team. It's a company, and they have a list of clients. All right, this is the most beneficial thing that you could have right now because they're going to do the work for you to get sales for your book. When I got a distributor, it just changed everything for me. And I have a handful of distributors now, and they send me checks every week. And this has been ongoing for years and years and years. And this works out really well. This is how you can get 5 and 6 figures as a self-publisher by getting distributors and having profitable agreements with them. That's another thing. You have to make sure that you negotiate a profitable agreement. First thing you have to do, of course, is identify the distributor. So you want to identify who is distributing to the customer base that you are targeting. And then once you find the distributor, you have to make the distributor come to you. Now, this is key. If you are chasing them, they literally won't sign with you. I'll tell you a story from my own experience. One of my distributors, they're one of my best distributors now, and it's been very profitable for me to work with them, but they're a company. I sent tons of press and media kits to them and inquiries. I must have sent a dozen inquiries to them over a period of several years, asking them, please distribute my stuff. I know we'd be perfect to work together. Crickets, they never responded to me. The only way they ever responded to me was when they initiated it. Those are the ways that you can really get a great distribution agreement, because when they approach you, then you get to choose the terms of the agreement. And like I said, I put that into a system. It's like a romance, right? If you want to have a romance with somebody, you find a way to put it in their minds that they're the one pursuing you. We'll talk a little more about this later. So next, struggle that people are facing is getting expert status as an author. Now, this is super important. Expert status is what allows you to get more money, increase your book sales, increase your audience, get respect by your audience, and get more opportunities. For example, when people reach out to you and say, hey, can you come speak at this conference? Or can you co-write this book with me? You can have unlimited opportunities by having this expert status as an author. Can you teach me? Can I hire you as a consultant? All of these things are super important, and expert status gives you all of these amazing, amazing opportunities. So when you're getting expert status, it's money in the bank. So how do you do it? To get expert status as an author, you must do things besides just write the book. Writing the book gives you a certain amount of cachet, but you're going to have to promote this thing. So nowadays we have ebooks, books, graphic novels, social media, newspapers, magazines, the web, forums, blogs, websites. We have webinars, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, emails, video, TV, radio, live events, trade shows, conventions, meetups, Skype calls, Google Hangouts. There's so many ways to connect with people, and these are all things worth exploring and considering in terms of your market strategy. So when you know who your audience is, you know what medium they're communicating in. Then you focus on this as a starting point, and you give value, and that's how you build the audience. So you want to help them overcome their pain points, and you'll gain credibility and status by doing that. So all these things work together. And as we go on to the next page, this is page 2, what would provide the biggest growth for you as a self-publisher? We'll tie some of these things together again. So getting essential tasks done for you, that's having an assistant. So there's 2 ways to handle this. 2 types of assistant you could get. One would be a local assistant who can help you in your local community. So this might be someone in college who knows about computer stuff and needs cash. Whatever you need help with, you can advertise for it, and I'll tell you how you can do that right now. You can hire somebody for like $10 an hour who would get useful experience, and they would have some money for lunch. Basically, the way you would find assistant who could work with you in your local community is you could put a free ad on a website called Craigslist. So just go to google.com and type in Craigslist, like the name Craig and then S and then list. That'll take you, it'll show the local website for Craigslist, and then you can post an ad on Craigslist for free. And then people will respond to you by email, and you can hire somebody this way to do tasks for you, whatever it is. You could write a headline like, seeking assistant to help with computer tasks. That's your headline. And then the body of your message could be like, assistant needed for computer tasks, Facebook, Twitter posts for local author. Basically you'll write exactly what you need, whatever it is that you need. General office tasks for a local author. Like I said, you post that ad on Craigslist and you'll get responses by emails, and then you can have them, post their resume. If interested, post resume, and send me your phone number so I can contact you. Something like that. Whatever it is that you need, you post that on your ad. Now, if you want to go a different route, you can get something called a virtual assistant. That's somebody who doesn't live in your local area, but who you speak with online using something like Skype or using email to talk to them and describe the tasks. It's a little bit different. You're not seeing them in person. They live in another country, but you can hire them like $3 an hour. And who I recommend to hire is people in the Philippines. So if you go onto a website called Odesk, that's the letter O and the word desk.com, you can sign up there with a free account, and you can post an ad saying that you want to hire a virtual assistant. You get a lot of responses, and then the people I recommend, the Philippines is really great because I think English is their first language there, and they have a really high rate of PhDs, higher education in the Philippines. So you can get some really smart people to work for you for $3 an hour, $5 an hour, and you can pay them again to do computer tasks. So this is great, and you just communicate with them by Skype and email, and you pay Odesk. So you don't have to pay the person directly. You pay Odesk, and Odesk pays them. So that's how to get a virtual assistant. Now let's move on marketing help. That's someone to show you exactly what to do. Okay, so this is the biggest response of all. Almost 75% say that this would provide the biggest growth for them as a self-publisher. So it is really important to know exactly what to do as a marketer. And we talked a little bit about, moving forward and how to get on the right track. But you really need someone who's done this before, and who's had success as a self-publisher. In my case, I've been making 5 figures as a self-publisher since 2005. I've got ongoing distribution deals. I've developed systems so that people can replicate my success in their own self-publishing. You could do exactly what I do. I could tell you exactly what to do, step by step. And that's kind of what I'm doing right here on this video. And basically, I'm going to give you this information is all for free, so you can just use this information. There's no charge for you, with this video. So here's the step-by-step approach to marketing your book. Just broadly, you want to identify your target audience, identify where they congregate, identify the gatekeepers. These are your connectors. These are the people who can help you get in front of the audience. And you're going to send a media kit to the gatekeepers. You're going to develop a relationship with the gatekeepers and add value consistently to the audience. It should be free, consistent, and valuable. Okay, because it alleviates their pain. This is how you build your audience. You market your book in a proven successful way. Now, every book is different and every author is different, so I can't say every variable of what your specific marketing help will need to be. But I just gave you an outline. If you follow that exact outline, rewind the video if you need to, and listen to it again, and you'll follow that exact outline, and that's how to move forward with your marketing. So you'll have to change the specifics for each book launch and each author, but if you follow that, it'll keep you on track and you'll be heading in the right direction. Okay, next, having a dedicated sales team, that's your distributor. So this is one of the holy grails of self-publishing. Getting a distributor, that is the best way to move forward as a self-publisher because it frees up so much of your time to do what you really want, which is right? Or, just live a satisfied life of being respected as an author. And collecting those checks from your distribution deal, right? So here are the step-by-step techniques on how to get a distributor. Without further ado, first thing you need to do is you're going to identify your ideal distributor, okay? And I'll give you a big hint. The clients of your distributor, those are your target audience. So if you're trying to, reach out to libraries, for example, then you want to, go to Google and you want to type in library book distributors, and you'll start to find out who are the distributors who distribute books to libraries. Go to several different sources. You're not going to find everything on Google. You could find a lot of things on Google though. Now you then need to locate their contact information. That's probably on their website, right? They probably have an email there or a mailing address. Either way, you get in touch with them. If they don't have their mailing address, you get in touch with them and find it out. And then you're going to send them your press kit, or you can email it to them. And then rinse and repeat. Okay, so that's one way to talk to your distributor, and that way can work. I have a much better way though, and that's getting them to come to you. Remember we talked about the romance, right? If you want to romance somebody, put the idea in their head that they want you, and then that makes things so much easier, right? And then they think that they're romancing you, and everybody gets what they want, and everybody's happy, right? So that's a much better approach. How do you do this with a distributor? So you want to find out where your distributors are going to be. Okay, so you do this by going on their website. Usually they'll post something like, here are all the conventions and trade shows we'll be attending this year. You show up in person at the trade show, and you should, you can make an appointment in advance sometimes to talk to their people. That's a great way to get to know them. You could go to their booth and introduce yourself. Are those the best strategies? Again, if you're chasing them, it's not the best strategy. So you could do those things I just mentioned that might work out, but much better is to put yourself in a position of being the authority at the event. Now, how do you do that? This is next level strategy here. You could buy a booth space. That is one great way to become an authority at an event. I know so many stories where people buy a booth space at an event and then they get approached by the distributor, and it creates a lucrative agreement. Now, it is kind of hit and miss, and there is a big expense involved in buying a booth space. So I've got another thing for you that is less expensive, and also puts you in the position of being an expert. So you want to in this case, you want to arrange to be a speaker at the event. Then afterwards, after you do your speech, then you offer to answer questions for the audience. Just say, I'll be right over here at my table signing books and answering your questions. Please form a line. Then you get everybody to line up. Now the distributor's in the audience, and then they see all of their clients lining up to talk to you. What position does that put you in? Puts you in the authority position, that expert position, and that's where you want to be. So they come to you, and they've already seen you as the expert. Seeing is believing, and so it's much easier to get a profitable distribution deal if they come to you. Now, accountability partner, to make sure you're getting tasks done. About 48% of people want that. Now, accountability is huge because you want to get things done on time. We all get scared, we all put things off, and we all, feel overwhelmed at times. But having that accountability partner can really help you move forward. So now you could get a friend or a loved one to help you out with that, but now are they going to really help you? Are they really going to be a great accountability partner? That's up to you to know that. You might not want somebody who is really close to you. You might want somebody who can, help you and give you a little bit of a push in the right direction. Now, the next question was, are you committed to your self-publishing success? Over 90% said yes, that's great. Now what I'm going to talk to you about is just how to move past this point in your self-publishing success. Let's look at how did a struggling 49-year-old self-publisher go from 99 rejections to over $108 million in book sales per year. And I think you all know who I'm talking about, right? Every single publisher said no. He took his book to every publisher he could think of. I'm sure he felt very frustrated and hopeless. But Jack Canfield, today, his Chicken Soup for the Soul book series is one of the great self-publishing success stories. His books have created a legacy. They've been translated into 80 languages. They've sold billions of dollars worth of merchandise. It's not just Chicken Soup for the Soul anymore. From the success of his book, this self-publisher, just like you and me, Jack Canfield, he was somebody who had no success as a self-publisher, but now he's rich, he's famous, people know him all over the world. He has the freedom to spend his days doing anything he wants. Apparently he likes playing golf, traveling. His family never has to worry about money again. Now, it almost never happened for this guy, right? We'll get back to this in a minute. But we can look at other success stories. Here's an example that's a little less crazy. Last year I made $62,168 as a self-publisher working part-time. So I don't spend a lot of time on this, but it's not the same league as Jack Canfield, is it? But being a self-publisher, even at the success level that I've got, it's given me freedom. I can set my own schedule. I can do what I love. For example, my son and I are on a quest to visit all 7 continents in the next 7 years. My son is going to be 10 years old next month. And last summer we went to Japan, had an amazing time for 2 weeks. We just got back from spring break on the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador. So this is spring break this year, 2015. It's really exciting. We saw tons of animals and birds. He found a sea lion, a baby sea lion. He wanted to take it home and keep it as a pet. And we just don't have a bathtub big enough for that. We saw giant turtles walking by the side of the road. They're just so big. We ate lobster and fish fresh from the ocean. They were grilled up by street vendors. This was just an amazing, amazing time. And all these crazy adventures are possible because of the freedom I get from being a self-publisher. In my 10 years, since 2005, of being a self-publisher and working from home, I have discovered that you don't have to be perfect. Successful people aren't perfect. I know a lot of successful people, believe me, here in Los Angeles who are just total screw-ups. And I even feel that way sometimes. But everybody, we all need a little help sometimes. And here's another little story from my life. When I want to get in shape, so I hired a personal trainer. Now, the thing is, I'm paying, so I'm not going to miss an appointment. This guy, this personal trainer, his name is Shalom, he puts me through pain, so much pain. And that is why I hate him. But I do like the results I'm getting. I'm getting compliments from my girlfriend. And, apparently being in shape is very fashionable. Back to the point. I know what it feels like. It's extremely painful when you've spent weeks, months, years doing endless research to write your book, doing the formatting, doing the printing, just to end up getting stuck, right? It makes my stomach churn to think of all that effort, that passion wasted. Okay, seriously, did you do all the work of research, writing, and self-publishing your book for nothing? Of course not. All right, but a lot of people are stuck. And this is the reality for a lot of people. And I've been there too. I really, really know how this feels. By the way, it's not your fault. Okay? It's really easy to get stuck. So, what if Jack Canfield just stopped when he got stuck along the way? He got 99 rejections, this guy. What if he had just stopped then? He would have been another one of the sad self-publisher stories, not the success story that he is today. Like the unfortunate author with 2,000 copies of his book collecting dust in his basement. I've been that guy. I know what that feels like. That was me. Or the poor writer who struggles to get their book distributed, but has no luck and no prospects. I was there too. Before I got a distributor, I didn't know how to do that. And they had big dreams, and those dreams are slipping away. And remember, all that time and effort that you put into writing your book, the expense, it's all wasted. But I don't want to see this happen to anybody, especially not someone like you who I care about. We're all friends here, right? So, what does it take to be successful? One of the most successful people on the planet is billionaire Richard Branson, the creator of Virgin Airlines and over 400 other successful businesses. And what does he say about success? Whenever I am asked what is the missing link between a promising business person and a successful one, mentoring comes to mind. What does Oprah say? I think mentors are important, and I don't think anybody makes it in the world without some form of mentorship. Nobody makes it alone. Nobody has made it alone. Well, what about Jack Canfield, Chicken and Soup for the Soul creator? After you've decided what you want, you have to believe it's possible. Then you need to seek out mentors and coaches. Those are the words of Jack Canfield. So this is how Jack Canfield has become successful, through mentoring and coaching. So the next obvious question is, where do you find a mentor? All right, I've never made this offer before, but let's do something fun. Okay, so it's against my better judgment, but I'm going to take on 10 new coaching clients. This is something I'm not allowed to do. I'm not allowed to trade time for money, right? I could be reading books or working out or traveling the world with my kid. These are the things that I would choose to do otherwise. But I know what it feels like to get stuck. I want to help my clients become success stories. So I'm going to dedicate a part of my week to working with you. So let's make this happen. Let me give you some of my client testimonials. Best book marketing strategies ever. Michael is a rock star. His help has been invaluable to my success as a self-published writer. That's from Ginny in San Antonio. Hi, Ginny. Some people under-deliver on what they promise. In this case, you've over-delivered. I'm so excited by the new opportunities with marketing my books. I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you. Thank you for your valuable help. Authors need people like you. That's Chelsea from Lawndale. Hi, Chelsea. The flavor of the month? No. Michael's book marketing strategies are classic and very useful. Since we started working together, I'm moving forward at a breakneck pace. Bob. Hi, Bob. I was unsure about starting a coaching program as I was planning to launch my manuscript to my own list. Michael has helped me to identify weaknesses in strategy and overcome obstacles. He definitely keeps me on track. I didn't have a clear set of goals, and now I know exactly how to move forward with my book marketing. Thank you. That was from Morris. And Michael is a terrific coach. When we got started, I didn't even know who my target audience was. But I'm pleased to report I'm doing a guest speaker event next week, and I've already got interest from several non-exclusive distributors. So that's great. Okay, so that's from William. Now, how to apply. Applications require you to fill out just a few questions. I need to know kind of where you're at. And I'm going to review the applications quickly in order to determine, make sure I can help you. And what we'll do is we'll collect a deposit of $9.97 to apply. And if you're accepted, this will be your first month's payment. And if you're not accepted, then we'll return the deposit in full. So here's what you get. You're going to get 2 30-minute coaching calls every month. You'll get to ask me any question and get my personal coaching in order to take it to the next level with your self-publishing success. Okay, so we're going to cover every aspect of marketing your book, including your target audience, your marketing strategy, your media press kit, social media, Facebook, Twitter, your website, your book design, your testimonials, online advertising, building your list, your book series, your expert status, live event speaking, getting a distributor, negotiating profitable agreements, TV, radio, online video, joint ventures, and more. Now, this is not for everyone. This is only for authors who are committed to their self-publishing success. I know that over 90% of you said you are, so this is for you. If you're sick of being stuck and you want to develop a strong foundation for marketing your book, you're welcome to apply. Now, listen, we are going to be a team. We will work together on this, and you know that we're going to be unstoppable. We're going to make your book marketing strategy into a success story. We're going to turn you into a success story. So click the Add to Cart button to apply now. Just imagine what it would feel like to make an extra $62,168 per year as a self-publisher working part-time. How would that change your life? For some people, it would mean paying off bills, buying a new car, going on vacation, or just spending time with family, watching a movie, relaxing, reading, or just not doing anything, right? There's no guarantees that you'll get the same results as me. But I can guarantee that if you don't take action, then you won't get results. If you're seeing this video, you're committed, then you're welcome to apply. And there's no risk because there's nothing to buy now. $9.97 is for the fully refundable deposit. So go ahead and click the Add to Cart button to apply now. In order to move forward, you must take consistent action. So you need a coach who knows what they're talking about and will be there for you. For the past, let's change that, it's 10 years. For the past 10 years, I have been consistently making 5 figures as a self-publisher. So I do know what I'm talking about. I've taught hundreds of clients, and I've helped them to make more money as self-publishers. Again, there's no risk because if you're not 100% delighted, I will refund your money. The offer ends in 3 days. There's a countdown timer, so I suggest submitting your application as soon as possible. I will review all applications as soon as possible, get back to you by next week. Click the Add to Cart button to apply now. All right, thanks, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.